Ever wondered why you wake up early every day just to cram into the subway and pay off your mortgage? Blame that fish from 375 million years ago, the wretched creature doing push-ups in the mud. If it hadn't lost the rat race back then and been forced to crawl ashore, you'd still be in the ocean right now, blowing bubbles without a care in the world. This is the origin of all terrestrial vertebrate life on Earth, Tiktaalik. In the grand arena of Earth's evolution, it made a decision that defied every ancestor before it, to leave the water. It was that seemingly brave move that directly led, over 300 million years later, to its descendants. That's us, having to drag ourselves out of bed every morning for work. 375 million years ago, during the Devonian Period, the ocean was no safe haven. It was a full-blown arena of carnage. The rules were brutally simple. Either be big enough or be tough enough. An era tailor-made for armored juggernauts to rampage unchecked, where confident Eurypterids swept everything clean with their massive claws. As a fish with neither heavy armor nor razor-sharp teeth, a bottom feeder in every sense, Tiktaalik's daily routine consisted of just two things: being eaten or being on its way to being eaten. The deep sea was off-limits. That was the hunting ground of apex predators. It could only cower miserably in oxygen-depleted, scorching hot waters, lurking in swampy shallows, choked with primitive vegetation. But even this wretched slum of an ecosystem was swarming with countless rivals fighting for scraps. Driven to the absolute brink, Tiktaalik looked up, above the waterline, at that uncontested frontier, dry land. If survival in the water was impossible, then it would shatter the rules entirely. To survive, Tiktaalik began a radical, all-or-nothing body transformation. Not enough oxygen in the water? It brute forced the evolution of a primitive lung, allowing it to poke its head above the surface and gulp air directly. Can't swim in the shallows? It took the cartilage supporting its fins and forcibly reshaped them into wrist and elbow joints. A fish, just stay alive, actually started doing push-ups in the muck, using those thick, muscular forelimbs. It hoisted its heavy body upward, lifting its eyes above the waterline to scout for danger. In that moment, it saw the world on shore for the very first time. No predators, nothing but food everywhere. So it took a deep, unfamiliar breath of air, dragged its cumbersome body forward, and took the heaviest first step in the history of life. Those few short meters were an agonizing, graceless crawl. Without the buoyancy of water, Earth's gravity pressed down like a mountain, crushing against its spine. Unfiltered ultraviolet radiation mercilessly scorched its skin. Every inch forward was accompanied by the searing pain of muscles tearing apart. But it never looked back, because it knew, go back to the water, and death was certain. Crawl onto land, and there might still be a chance. It won. It escaped that brutal arena of death, and became the first pioneer to claim the resources of the land. From that moment on, amphibians were born, reptiles were born, mammals were born, until finally, humans were born. Tiktaalik must have joyfully believed that by crawling ashore, it was securing for all its future descendants a paradise where they could lounge around forever. But it never could have imagined that nature would play a nearly 400 million year-long cosmic joke on it. Those limbs it fought so desperately to evolve are now used by its descendants to tap away at cold, lifeless keyboards and cram into rush hour subways. It thought it had escaped the big fish in the water and could live the good life eating smaller prey. Instead, its descendants don't even have a free mud flat to lie in. They're shackled by things called mortgages and time clocks, chained hopelessly to their office desks. Through this joke that spans the entirety of time and space, nature tells us, in this universe, running away never solves anything. The abilities you evolve to dodge one problem will ultimately only push you toward another, far more complex and crueler predicament. So the next time you feel hopeless at your desk, don't blame your boss. Blame it on the Tiktaalik.